What is up, YouTube? I'm DaVinci, leader of the Renaissance Crew, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. Now, I said I was only going to react to a couple of these. I don't like going down to a person's entire channel and just watching everything, unless it's like older content. But this chart goes directly into the last chart that I reacted to, which correlated with the whole genres of music that were going back and forth, whichever ones became most popular. It was the exact same format as this, except it was music genres as opposed to musical acts. And I was talking about how in certain decades, certain genres would just explode, and I was saying like, oh, that must be because a particular artist came out at a certain time, or something happened during that time, like the 70s or the 80s, disco disappearing because of the death of disco, and how it became like this thing that is almost taboo. And like the 50s, rock and roll exploded because of Elvis Presley. Pop rock exploded in the 60s because of the Beatles and things like that. So this video kind of fine tunes that and goes more in detail as to what made things popular. So let's look at this and see what it has to offer. This is the best-selling musical acts of 1969 to 2019. This video was made by Data is Beautiful. Like I said, I will have a link for their videos, or a link for their channel actually, at the end of this video. You can click on it, go straight to it, subscribe to them, watch their content, like their videos. And I will have a link for this original video in the description box down below. If you have not seen the original video already, I highly encourage you to go watch it first. That way the original content creator can get view, and they can get ad revenue on the stuff they make, so they can continue to make videos like this. If you just watch the reactions, the original content creator doesn't really get money, and a lot of times people end up leaving YouTube because of it. Support the actor, or not the actor, I'm sorry. Support the original content creator. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and check this out. So it's starting off on 1969 Q3. The Beatles already exploded. Elvis, I think, is already kind of, his period is already kind of passed in a way. Simon and Garfunkel, the Bee Gees, Barbra Streisand, The Doors, Pink Floyd, Cher, Neil Diamond is coming up, Santana's coming up. Oh, I take that back. Elvis is coming back. Elvis is coming back. Elvis is about to enter the building. Oh my gosh, Led Zeppelin. Look, oh my goodness, look at Led Zeppelin. Oh, 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 oh my goodness. Oh, here comes Elvis again. Elvis is into the, this is like a damn NASCAR race. Pink Floyd is exploding. The Carpenters. Billy Joel. Alright, the Doors just disappeared. Elton John is coming up. Fast. Very fast. And Elton John's #1. ABBA is coming through. No Diamond is just into the charts again. Elton John is exploded. Oh, here comes Queen. Here comes Queen. The Eagles. The Eagles just exploded also. Oh man. I can already say this chart is dynamic, way more dynamic than any of the other charts that I watched. So far I've seen the music genre was one. I've seen how was it the most popular? I forgot what it was, but I will have a link for the other chart I watched as well. Those weren't as dynamic as this one is. Alright, Aerosmith came in for a second. Here come the Bee Gees again. The Eagles are destroying the charts. Fleetwood Mac. 78, 79. Barbra Streisand is back. Aerosmith. More consistent. Here comes Michael Jackson. Oh, there goes Michael Jackson. Oh. Michael Jackson. Off the wall. Here comes Queen again. AC/DC. Here comes Queen. A period in time when Michael Jackson and Queen were 1 and 2. Here comes Prince. I can only imagine how much Michael Jackson's going to explode in a couple of minutes, as well as Prince. Michael and the Queen are I said the Queen. Michael and Queen are going back and forth. Oh, here comes Thriller. There goes Thriller. Wow. That is crazy. Phil Collins. Here comes Prince. This is Purple Rain. Madonna. She just entered the scene. Bruce Springsteen. And Madonna has overthrown Michael Jackson. Dire Straits. Michael Jackson has just taken over again. Whitney Houston has just entered the scene. Here comes Bad from Michael Jackson. U2. George Michael. Guns N' Roses. Elvis is coming back. Metallica. The Beatles are coming back. Yeah, Michael ruled the decade, that's for sure. But Madonna is taking over Michael again. I'm not familiar with Madonna's discography, but something came in and was no joke. She released something that was no joke in the early 90s. Nirvana. Michael Jackson's coming back. This is when Dangerous came out. Whitney Houston is exploding. Eric Clapton. Mariah Carey. Whitney Houston. This must have been around the time Bodyguard came out. Yeah, if this list had taken place like in the 50s and stuff, I think Elvis would have been as dominant as Michael was during that whole decade. I would love to have seen the charts like when the Beatles first came out too, like to see how far they would have gone. That would have been crazy. Yeah, Michael is ruling these charts, man. Here comes Michael released History around this time. Backstreet Boys, Celine Dion. This is around the time Titanic came out. Eminem. Backstreet Boys again. Michael has left the chart, at least for now. I know Invincible came out, but I don't know how popular it was at the time. Britney Spears. Elton John must have been up there from the Disney movies. Christina Aguilera. Eminem is number 1. Here comes Jay-Z. Linkin Park. I was about to say Limp Bizkit. Help me. Lil Wayne. Garth Brooks was up there for a minute. Eminem was dominating the charts. Maroon 5. Usher. Yeah. If you happen to be a fan of any particular artist that appeared on this list, go into the comment section and let me know during what particular times, like what made them explode. Like what album was it that came out that made them explode like that? Or if it was a particular thing, like if an artist passed away or if an artist, like something significant happened. Eminem is almost the king of the 2000s, you could say. Comes Taylor Swift, Kanye West, Rihanna, of course, Flo Rida. I put Flo Rida in the same category as like Pitbull. They're kind of like the party rappers. They get real famous, but I'm not really a fan of their substance. Lady Gaga, Kesha, Chris Brown, Katy Perry, Drake, Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber. And so far, Rihanna's dominating in the early 2010s. Adele, One Direction. Drake is about to overtake. Oh, wait a minute, One Direction. Oh, okay. Drake is overtaking Rihanna. And Psy just came in with that one song. That one song. Gangnam Style. Probably the biggest single ever. Pharrell Williams. He's always kind of been up there. He's just been in the background a bit. Nicki Minaj. Alright. Wiz Khalifa. That's probably the highest number I've seen any like artist sales get in a particular quarter. Alright, so you have Ed Sheeran. I'm sorry, I knew it. It was for some reason I couldn't read right. Louis Fonsi. BTS. Oh, 1 second. I like to hold it off on the last chart. There we go. So that's where it ended. Now, looking at this chart, I would have to give, let me see, the 60s obviously were the Beatles. The 50s were obviously Elvis. I don't even need to look at a chart to know that. The 70s, who were, like, what did this chart say were dominating the 70s? Yeah, Elton John. Oh, the Eagles. The Eagles. The Eagles dominated the 70s. As far as this chart is concerned, the Eagles dominated the 70s. Like, they were up there for a very long time. Well, actually not really. Let me see. Looks like about 4 years the Eagles were dominating. And then it was Elton John for a bit, and then I believe, yeah, Elvis. I would give it to the Eagles. The 80s, of course, were Michael Jackson. Hell, the 90s were Michael Jackson, too. Michael Jackson was up top in the 90s all the way until 1996, 1997. Yeah, until 1997. Michael Jackson was number one in this. So, yeah, I have to give Michael Jackson the 80s and the 90s. I would give Elvis the 70s as well, but he fell off right around, not fell off, but he lost the number one spot right around 74. So it was only like 4 years out of the total 10. Well, forget it. I'll give it to Elvis / the Eagles because they both lasted for about 4 years in the 70s. The 2000s were Eminem, and the 2010s were Drake. So yeah, that's what I think is the overall winners of each decade. Now, if you guys have a particular artist that didn't make the list, let me know. If you, like I said, if you're a fan of a particular artist that did make the list and you saw they had a significant jump at any particular time, let me know what happened during that time. Like I said, whether it was a album release or if something significant happened. I know sometimes when artists die, their music gets more popular. Or if something like happens, there'll be like a surge in their music whenever they make headlines. So be sure to let me know about that. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Like I said, I will have a link for Data is Beautiful's channel right around here somewhere. The last 30 seconds of the video, you can click on it, you go to their channel, and everything else. And I can't stress enough that I want you guys to support the original content creators because I don't want people to just watch these videos through my reactions, because when you do that, the money doesn't go to the original content creator, and that's how a lot of YouTubers tend to leave. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's like a lot of YouTubers that I've been a fan of. They don't really upload as much as they used to, and a lot of it is because YouTube tends to, like, they're a little bit more harder than they were early on, and it makes it more stressful to try to get videos out. We're not any significant like people or anything like that. We're not celebrities. We're just people that happen to have a camera and want to create content, and it gets a lot harder when the YouTube is squeezing us a little bit more, because we aren't, like I said, we're not those type of people. We aren't going to sit here and, you know, drop everything in our lives to try to do YouTube unless we've already established it. It would not be recommended to do that, to just drop everything. So we kind of have lives that we have away from the camera as well. So if you got any way you can help us out, one of the biggest ways is to watch and like our videos. Some people have Patreons and things like that. I don't have one yet. I said I'll have one day if I feel like I have something I can give back. I don't want to take stuff that I'm giving you guys for free and put it behind a paywall. So I'm trying to find something I can give you as like an additional incentive. With that being said, that's pretty much all I have to say. I look forward to seeing you guys in the future video. Until then, I'm DaVinci. Hopefully you've just been a little bit more enlightened, and I'm giving you the deuces. Peace.